Hello and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk with one of our famous sports stars, Wayne Gomes. He has a lot going on in Hampton. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Robin. Thank you.
When I first started, I've been wanting to interview you for a few years, but you've got so much going on. You are one of the busiest people I have ever heard of.
I do. I like projects, and I like my community, and I like fulfilling those projects.
So you had a career in the majors as a relief pitcher.
Correct.
For how many years?
Six in the major leagues. Yeah, I spent some time in the minor leagues too.
So you've lived all over.
I have. I've seen a lot of the world.
Why'd you come back to Hampton?
I wouldn't want it any other way. I love this community. This community has always been great to me. I embraced it, and my mom was always for paying it forward and giving back. And I would never envision me living anyplace else. I'm never leaving. So I love Hampton.
And that's so good for us.
Yeah, I'm never leaving Hampton. Yeah.
We're happy.
No, we're good.
You have given back a lot already. Yeah. Does that comes from your parents?
Yeah. Mom and Dad were big givers, and I kind of just followed their lead. My mom had plenty of friends in the community. People ask about her every day. As we talked about earlier, my mother just passed about a year and a half ago.
That's hard.
But she had pretty clear instructions before her passing about how she wanted our family, not just me, how our family was supposed to operate. And this is part of my assignment.
Part of your assignment.
Right.
So is that how your newest venture, PAL, came about?
It's part of my assignment. Yeah, I think so. No, we'll get to PAL, but one of my assignments was about coaching Phoebus baseball, and that requires a lot of time. It requires, and I want to be great, being that's my alma mater, and I asked her, I was like, hey Mom, do I kind of have to do this? And she was pretty clear. This is not something I would ever want you to stop doing. This is your assignment. They gave you something, you have to give it back and go be great at it. So
not a high-paying job. Probably not a job you needed.
No.
Except for giving back to Phoebus, working with kids.
Yeah, and I enjoy the City of Progress. I enjoy working with young people who want to learn and want to receive what I have. It gets frustrating when you're dealing with teenagers that don't necessarily want to accept your experience and your knowledge, and their parents sometimes are what they are. But for the most part, I enjoy it.
And you have been working with youth for a very long time.
Correct,
You started Virginia Baseball Academy.
I did. I started Ethos, which was an alternative suspension program, where kids in high school would get suspended. They would send the kids directly to me, and I would put them through a restorative justice program. So I'm still doing.
How did you learn that stuff? I mean, you're the baseball expert. How did you get into restorative justice?
Working with young people. My wife has more background. She's a doctor, and she has she's pretty much a psychiatrist. So she does that part of it. But I just speak to them from experience, and just speak to them as doing right from wrong. And what you did, hey, how can we not do that again? And I think that's a skill that most productive adults have. It's just, do you want to spend your whole day doing it? And I do. I like spending my whole day doing it. I really enjoy working with kids. I like to see the finished product. I like to see when they come. What keeps me going is when I'm at Panera Bread and they run out to me in the parking lot. Hey, I came through your program and now I'm working and I'm doing well and you guys got me straightened out. That keeps me going. I like to see that because some of the backstories on some of these young people aren't great, and once you get to understand the backstory, then you'll get a little clearer picture of why they are acting out the way they are.
Do they listen to you? Do they respect you? They
do, and here's why. Because I give them respect and I give them a lot of leeway and a lot of grace. So yeah, they You have one or two that just want to do their own thing. And I just lower, as they raise their voice, I just lower mine and talk to them. And I'm thinking to myself, you're not going to ruin my day. I'm going to give you all this information I have, and it's going to be up to you to receive it. And I'm going to give it to you over and over and over again until you're sick and tired of hearing me, until you're sick and tired of coming back to my program. And what I found is, even though my program is a punishment for them, some of them find their way back because they kind of want to talk to me and they kind of want to be in it. But like some of them will just pop up there. I'm like, hey, you're supposed to be in school. Like, I'd rather be here. Well, it doesn't work like that. But but I enjoy speaking to young people. I speak life into them.
That's a special skill. That's a different than baseball skill. How did you develop that?
That's Wayne Gomes. That's mom. That's just what she instilled in me, and just trying to do right by people.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So much of what you have done, not everything, has been around baseball. You were pitching coach for the Pilots.
Correct.
You worked with high school kids in the academy or younger.
Breathing.
Some of them. Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten 7-year-olds and I've had kids come back from college. So all different skill levels. So baseball, but it's not everything to you. No.
Baseball is
a
great career for a while, but it's also a means to reaching people.
It's the conversation piece to get you in the door, get their attention, and then you get to elaborate on what you really want to get across. I use it every day in my alternative suspension program. I talk to them about baseball, and they'll look at my net worth, or they'll look up something. Now I have their attention, and I can get off what I want to. But
they respect professional athletes. Yeah. I think that's
they do. They do.
Very important.
It's something different. They don't touch every single day. But I still have to take it a step further. They're just not going to give me what I'm asking for because I played baseball.
Yeah, that gives you.
Some of them don't even know anything about baseball. But my next program, the Police Athletic League, is a program to connect kids, cops in the community. And we are using the police department as a means to reach young people who to give them a better understanding of what policing looks like, to humanize the police department, and so they have a better relationship, and when they'll look to the police department as a helping hand instead of the enemy.
That takes a lot for some kids, to really be able to change. They have not necessarily thought of or had great interactions in the past.
It does, because a lot of times their initial experience is come from a bad place. That they've arrested their father. Maybe they've ran into a bad cop who didn't treat them with the respect that they're looking for. It could be a number of things, but that at that young impressionable age is, hey, the police are bad. That can extend on with them the rest of life. I had a bad experience with an officer one time, but I've also had 100 great experiences. And I separate the two from being all bad cops. I just ran into one jerk cop that was not a good person, and the rest of my experiences have been great. So I'm old enough and smart enough to understand that they were just two different people. Mm-hmm. It wasn't all cops are great now, or all cops are bad. It's just good cops and bad cops, and good people and bad people.
How will this athletic league work?
The program is designed to again connect kids, cops, and community through different programs, whether it be athletic programs or activities. And I guess for me the easy start would have been baseball.
I'm surprised.
But I didn't want to do that. I didn't want another baseball program. Not to say that Powell won't ever have a baseball program in our Hampton Roads Powell program, but I wanted it to be separate. I wanted it to be something different. So I started off with an after-school program that I will be starting in Hampton. Then I'm going to go to an esports program. Esports is really taking off. It's a lot of scholarship money. They're considered athletes.
I know. I'm stunned by this. Yeah. I'm old. I'm just learning these things.
Hey,
but I talked to Bryant and Stratton, and it is a big deal for them.
It's a big deal, and they're really excited. And they have I've been to both their facilities, the one in Hampton and the one in Virginia Beach, and they're really nice places. And the kids are athletes.
Yeah, it's a different kind.
I'm still trying to process that, but they're athletes, and there's money, and there's scholarship money, and it's a big deal. And I brought it to the attention of my ethos kids and they were kind of already a little bit more familiar than I thought they would be. They do game, and they heard of esports. They didn't know there were scholarship opportunities available, but I'm going to bring that to them, and maybe it can be a recruiting tool where they can get into college through it. Because if you go to Bryan and Stratton, and you have this scholarship, you're not paying. It's not that expensive anyway, but they make it so if you want to go and you have any kind of money or any access to any money, you're going to get there and you're going to finish with a degree.
And you can't. I mean, people don't follow the same path to college, and the same things don't interest them. So
Right.
for some it might be sports, for some it might be music,
Right.
for some it just might be
Yeah.
the academics. But kids grow up gaming today,
Yeah,
like all of them,
Powell
boys and girls.
And Powell has the option of doing all these programs. Is it music? Is it dance? I thought about all these things when I kind of anchored on the programs I want to start. So I decided on youth leadership council. I decided on the esports. I decided on the after school program. So those are the things that we want to start, and from there it'll grow. I want to be effective. I want to start small with a good core of kids and see it grow from there.
And how do you fund all this? Is it a nonprofit?
Well, there's some grant funds out there that we'll just leave it at that. It's some grant funds out there.
You're hoping to secure some grant funds. That would be good.
I'm hoping to secure some grant funds, and if not, I just have to do a lot of fundraising. I know some people who know some people, and that's my prayer that they'll see value in a program like this, and they'll want to put their money behind it, and we'll take it from there.
And you've already talked to the Hampton Police and getting folks involved from there?
The police chief is on my board.
Good.
Yes.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. He's a great guy, and we've had several conversations, several meetings, and he's been on board from day one. I think he was familiar with the POW program. He came from the Reading area, which I spent some time there. I was in the minor leagues, and he was familiar with it. I don't know if he had really seen it work to perfection. But he was familiar with it, and he was willing to get on board.
Well, and this isn't just police. You said police and community.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? What members of the community, how do you go about getting community involvement?
How do I go about getting community involvement? Community leaders just reaching out to me, saying, "Hey, how can I get behind this? How can I, volunteer work, sponsorship work? It's going to take a village,
especially if you're growing to different locations and different timings and different
right.
projects.
I want to be in a lot of different places. A lot of times, I want to rely on a lot of different. It's going to be a lot of moving parts because one program might be at Fort Monroe, the next program might be at a middle school, the next program might be at Bryan Stratton, and I'm not sure if they're all going to run together at a time. I don't really have that pinned down yet, but one's more going to be the after school program is probably going to be all year round, same time of the day. So, in the esports program is probably going to be all year round too. So.
That's great. How do you have time? Wait, you're also the chairman of the Peninsula Stadium Authority right now, right?
I am. I am. I'm the chairman, and we start Saturday.
Which is an unpaid position.
It's
how many hours have you been working?
All the stuff we talked about, none of those jobs take as much time as being a Peninsula Stadium Authority. I mean, it takes a lot of work, and I'm not sure if it's because of I'm unfamiliar to the role and the people I have to contact with every single day, or the fact that our season starts in a couple of days.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it.
But I know I talk to the city attorney daily. I talk to my board daily, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Jim Wilson has been. He was the previous chairman. And Jim had told me about a year ago that he was going to ask me to be in that position. I told him a year ago, no thanks, I don't have the time, and it's still the case. But somehow I end up doing it anyway. But Jim has, I'm the chairman and he's under me, but Jim is the reason why the season is going to take place on Saturday. So I'll just leave it at that. But he's still maintained a big role, and he delegates well, and he has a little more time. He's retired.
And he's got experience. I mean,
he knows everybody.
Parks and Rec, he knows everybody. He knows how to get things done.
He knows how to get things done, and
shake some money loose.
Jim can do it all. He can do it all, and I find myself asking him more questions than I have answers for him. So,
what does it mean to Hampton to have War Memorial Stadium, to have the pilots?
Quality of life. Someplace in Hampton where people can come spend their money, have a good time, enjoy a good baseball game. for affordable cost, quality of life, and I think that's what our council is really interested in, that citizens can come right here in our community, spend their money, have a great time, and feel safe, and watch a good product, because the pilots always put a good product out there. Mr. Morgan and Hank, they put a good product out there. They don't just put a good product and walk away. They put a product in, and they're there. They listen to the compliments. They listen to the complaints, and they're a great family. Great baseball family.
Yeah, they are. They also work with youth a lot. They offer discounts to a lot of the softball teams and baseball teams around. It is really sort of, again, using baseball to be that greater family, that community
it's family
that
fun.
cares.
It's family fun, and he preaches that, and he lives by that. And he's a family man. He's a baseball guy, and that family fun is the atmosphere is what they're after, and there's nobody ever left the stadium that can't say that their kids have a good time. There's kids running around all over the place, and they're on the field, and babies are in the field, and Henry does a really good job of that. He's a people person.
Yeah, he is. Well, so very much like you are a people person.
He's better.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he's better. Yeah.
You have a special gift, it sounds like, especially with young kids who maybe aren't on the right path.
I like kids a lot more than I like adults. so.
Is that because you can have a bigger influence?
Maybe. I think you're right. That's a good way of putting it.
It also seems like sort of a calling with you.
I agree with that. I really enjoyed doing that. I enjoy doing it as long as you meet me halfway and you show that you appreciate the product I'm giving you, and understand that when my baseball team comes in there and they have my facility and they have me and I'm giving everything I have for nothing, like the pay and the fee will never match, not just for me, but for any high school coach. I mean, the football team, hours, basketball team, hours, track, hours of not just of Phoebus, but all the Hampton schools. They put in hours of work if they want their program to be successful. It's just so much other things that are done besides coaching. It's making sure the kids are all right and making sure the kids get home. And now with COVID, it's a whole different dynamic. You're testing and you're reporting. It's so many different layers to coaching. And then when they do teenage stuff, the parents want you to intervene, which is fine. I get that. And then the teachers will email me, which I get it. I have to kind of act as another layer of support. So it's a lot, but I think at the end of the day, just respect that what we're doing and appreciate it. That's about it. That's all I ask for. Just show up. That's what I tell kids. Like you really, really make me think different of what I'm doing when I have practice and you don't show up. So if you value what you have and you want me to continue doing it, just show up. I'm not asking for any money. I just don't want you to waste my time. And that's as simple as that.
So how many do you think former professional athletes become high school coaches, work with kids in their community? I mean, some of them have foundations,
right.
Or show up now and then.
I'm not sure. Some might volunteer and do it for a little bit, but some of them just want to go home and spend their time with their own families. It's where you're at in life. For me, both my kids are off in college. I just graduated. My son is now entering a pre-doctoral program at VCU. He'll start that in about a month. He just graduated from Hampton University. My daughter is a senior at Howard. She'll graduate next year in 3 years. Once at Phoebus, my alma mater. And she'll go to law school. So my kids are gone and kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, but you've been doing this for 10 years or so.
Not to this level. I mean, it's always been at a level, but not so many fires.
Okay.
If I had my kids, see, I would have never coached Phoebus High School to this level when my kids were 10, 12. I didn't have the time, energy. I wanted to focus on them. Mm-hmm. So once my daughter went to Phoebus for her junior and senior year, I was like, well, I'm gonna be there. I mean, she's gonna be there. Why not coach? And my son was off to college. Well, it seemed like a good fit, and the timing was right because, they had asked me for several years before I took the job, and I was like, I got these businesses. I just don't have the time. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. So once she got there in the building and she started doing her own thing and had her own set of friends and got a little more mature and wasn't so much relying on me, she was driving. I thought it would be a good time, and I was right. And I had a little more time to offer.
So what's next?
What's next? Well, I want to knock out Powell.
Okay.
I want to knock that out. The Stadium Authority it's always going to be an issue because the stadium is so old, and we always are looking for the next project to do on it, and to make it even better than it was the year before. That's never going away. I think that's always going to be a continuing, what needs to be fixed or what needs to be upgraded. Phoebus baseball, the sky's the limit. It really is. When I got the program, we had 2 kids. The first year I was the assistant coach, and we had 9 players and 7 seniors. So
Wow.
in no JV program. So when we started this year, which is my first year of varsity, we have a JV program and a varsity program, and we had 28 kids out there. And I take pride in that. I take pride in that, in their development on the baseball field, and how they carry themselves in the community. They're quality kids. Phoebus hasn't been never known for being a hot spot in baseball.
No,
not
football
while I was
maybe,
there.
but
Not while I
yeah.
was there. They had some stretches with Coach Tyndall. They had some stretches when there, and maybe even before that with Coach Talon. But I've never witnessed it. I've never seen it myself. So for us and today's our first playoff game. We're playing in the playoff today too, which hadn't happened in quite a while.
Yeah.
And we got several wins this year, which hadn't happened in quite a while. So I see the progress. I see where the program is going. So that's exciting. If I got a couple more arms in there, a couple more guys in there, and some kids that are willing to learn, I'm not easy to play for. I have high expectations. One is a commitment level, and if you don't have that, I really don't care how good you are because
You're not going to get better.
you're not going to get better. You're not going to get your best from me because if you
And you're not going to be a team
yeah,
player either.
You're not going to be a team player. And again, you're not going to get your best from me. You have to meet me halfway. You got to show up like I show up. You got to come in with the attitude of getting better, like I want you to get better. I'm not going to want this more than you. If I want you to get better more than you want to get better, it's not a good fit. You can go someplace else. There's other schools locally that probably be better fit for you. But the kids who play under me are tough, want to be coached, hard workers. They're all in. And understand the level of commitment that's going to take. Because I need to know where you want to go. You want to go to college? Or it takes this. So just listen and show up. If you don't want to go to college, probably not a good fit for you, and you're probably not going to like what I have to say during practice in the games. As simple as that. It's pretty kind of cutthroat, but it is what it is.
It doesn't sound cutthroat because there's caring in there too.
There's a lot of caring. Yeah, there's a lot of caring.
It would sound a lot worse if you didn't have that as your bedrock,
Oh,
I
good.
think.
Thank you for saying that. I feel better now.
Well, is there anything else you want to talk about or that I should ask you before we close?
No, that's it. I like to DJ.
DJ? Do you really?
Yeah, there's a new spot on Buckle Avenue called Coasters. I DJ on Friday night.
Oh, I've been to Coasters,
Really?
but not on a Friday and not lately.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday night.
All right.
Pretty cool spot.
I'll have to show
DJ
up.
61, America's DJ.
All right. Is there anything you don't do, Wayne?
I think we've covered it. I think we've covered it. I hadn't realized I was so busy, but it works.
Because you don't stop and think about it, probably.
I don't. It works.
It's mind-boggling to me.
It works. My wife's just as busy, so I think she's happy with me not blowing her phone up all day. I'm happy with her not blowing my phone up all day. We meet each other in the evenings, have dinner. It works. I don't know how, but it works. She's happy. I'm happy. Happy wife, happy life. We're about to hit 25 years in November. We're going to go on a big vacation. She's a special cat, and it works. I don't know. I don't know how, but it works. I think because she's equally motivated. She drives me. We're equally yoked in our drive. She has a lot of things she wants to accomplish, and I really push her. And she knows I have a lot of things I want to accomplish. She really pushes me, and we bounce stuff off each other. What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? What's a good idea? What's a bad idea? Obviously, what's best for our kids. They're not kids anymore at 20 and 21, but
They're still kids.
yeah, they are. Well, they'll always be kids as long as they're in the payroll. They're in the books, and they're still in the books
That's
right now.
right.
So.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
for having
by.
me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity, this forum.
And thank you for all you do for Hampton. There are not many people who are out there constantly getting involved with our youth, and that means getting involed with our future.
I choose Hampton. Isn't that a little cute?
That's right. That's our slogan.
Man, I love this place.
Why?
Look, I moved to Buckrow Beach 5 years ago, and it's about a mile from my dad's house. The location from my dad's house to the businesses and the community, people I know, and just being able to see familiar faces all the time, and the development we're doing, and the leadership. Look, there's flaws in everything, there's holes in everything, but I want to be part of the solution. So if I can be part of the solution, then if you don't want to be part of the solution, then don't complain. If you don't vote, shut up. So if I want to be part of the solution, so I'm going to do it, and I want to do it in Hampton. I'm never, ever leaving.
Good.
All right.
And
All right.
thank you for that.
All right. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. I hope you've gotten to know Wayne a little better and understand all that's going on. And if he hits you up for a little donation or a little time to volunteer, I hope you'll be there. Thanks.